I'm Bob Baker, and this is a Creative Entrepreneur Quick Tip, brought to you by the DIY Career Manifesto, the unconventional guide to turning your talents and know-how into a profitable business. Here's an excerpt from the audiobook.
Principle number 3, embrace your weirdness. If you're reading this book, there's a good chance you're a weirdo. Don't get me wrong, I mean that in a good way. You're colorful weird, not creepy weird. If you're anything like me, you knew from a young age that you didn't quite fit in. Perhaps you felt awkward, out of place, or a bit like an alien observing all these humans and their strange behaviors. If this describes you, congratulations, you're the ideal candidate for a successful DIY career. I remember when I was a kid, my mom once noticed that all the boys in the neighborhood were wearing a certain type of sports jersey. She offered to buy one for me, too, but I said no. If everyone else was wearing them, I wasn't interested. Plus, I had a lot more affinity for music and the arts than I ever had for sports. When it came to jobs and making money, there has been one consistent theme throughout my entire life. I have always generally detested working for someone else. It always felt like drudgery. Over the years, to make ends meet, my resume has run the gamut. From restaurants and a sponge distributor to a rental car call center and the suit and tie corporate world. My first full-time job was as a janitor at the large Sisters of St. Mary Convent for nuns. My official title was Technician in Housekeeping. Seriously, no matter what the job titles or company culture, the end results were always the same. I enjoyed my coworkers, I learned to adapt to the work environment, and I did my best to do good work. I wasn't a dysfunctional employee, but there was always a nagging sense that I didn't belong in a traditional work environment and needed to get out and do my own thing, sooner rather than later. Sometimes that agitated feeling was mild, but other times it bordered on full-throttle frustration and depression. Can you relate? Similar to the philosophy I expressed in the previous section, what matters is not how bad you feel. The most important thing is how you respond to the wrongness of the situation. Some people turn this traditional workplace agitation into a state of numb complacency. Others, like you and me, use it to transform ourselves into a determined DIY career maker. That's right. Use your frustration with your real job as the prime motivation to create something that will allow you to escape. Like I said earlier, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. Your weird attributes, or if you prefer, your unique one-of-a-kind qualities, are most likely not being utilized in a traditional work environment. You're being forced to fit into a cookie-cutter world that encourages and rewards sameness and predictability over individuality. Living a fulfilled life means expressing yourself and serving others in a way that has you expanding your weird gifts and qualities, not watering them down. So embrace your weirdness and build a DIY career that makes the most of who you really are.
I hope you enjoyed this quick tip from the DIY Career Manifesto, which is partly a memoir of my life in publishing in the arts and partly an unconventional how-to guide. It's available on Amazon in both ebook and audiobook formats in more than a dozen countries. You'll find links to it in the show notes of this episode. I'm Bob Baker, and this has been a Creative Entrepreneur Quick Tip.